Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Collecting Vintage Watches. And today I'm going to do a quick video on what I look for when buying a watch, especially on eBay. So I got a few examples here and I'll go through them with you. So what we're going to look for. First we're going to look at general, well, there's a lot of people here that tell you buy the seller, not the watch, and look at his feedback. And once you do all of that, you got everything done. So now how are you going to choose a correct watch? So this is the way I do it. Once I'm certain it's a decent buy or everything's good, I'm going to look at the watch. First ones are kind of self-explanatory, but we'll go through them. General condition of the watch. You're buying a vintage watch, so don't expect a new one. New ones are at the boutiques. So if you could accept the condition it is in, that's a plus. So look at the general conditions. Many people do a lot of pictures. If there's a picture you want to see and it's not listed, make sure you contact the buyer or the seller and ask them to list the picture that you want to see. Okay. Second, we're gonna look at the dial. We're gonna look for a redial, and when we're looking at dials, okay, here I'm gonna show you this example right here. This is a terrible redial on this Omega. Okay, you could see how it's all palmed up. So did that deter me from buying the watch? Absolutely not, and I'll tell you why. The dial is fairly easy to get. Okay, so I bought this one here, this chronograph. Okay, this watch came with this dial. Okay, so of course it deterred a lot of people from buying it, but I searched, I looked for an NOS dial for this brand, and I found them, and I didn't buy one. I bought two dials. Okay, so this is the authentic dial for the watch, and now the watch it's 100% genuine. It's not a Franken watch. Why? Because I used an NOS part, new old stock dial. Okay. So we're gonna look at the hands also. Okay. Make sure that the hands will match the indices of the watch. Gonna wait this for focus. There we go. Okay. They should be the same tone. That way we know they didn't rehand the watch, and make sure they're the same shape. Sometimes you have one shape on the hour hand and one shape on the minute hand. So be careful with that. We're going to look at crowns. We know this Seamaster came with this cross crown. Having trouble focusing today. God knows why, but okay. So that makes it completely authentic. Okay, here we have another one. If you could live with the patina. Again, on the dial, it's not a redial. This, we know it's an authentic dial that goes with this watch. Again, we look at the hands. We look at the indices. And they should match. They should be the same. It's going to be very rare that you're going to have square hands and long indices. So make sure they match. Okay. Now, what else do we look at? Okay. If you're buying a military watch, okay, here we have a Minerva. Okay, I want to see the original movement guard. This is the movement guard. Okay, I want to see this guard filling the whole watch. There is no gaps. The guard is not dancing inside of the watch. Okay, so that lets me click on that watch and gets my attention. Okay, now inside case back. It's going to be very rare that a watch is not signed inside. Okay, especially if you're with the big names. If you are with Omega, if you are with Rolex, especially with a lot of watches, it is going to be stamped inside. Okay, so That's another thing to look for. Now, I'm going to flip over this one here, and I'm going to show you something else I'm going to look at. So here, this is something people take for granted. Okay, see way down here, these locks right here. Make sure that the watch has these locks. There's going to be one on each side. Okay, why is that? That means that this movement goes with this watch. You know, it's not a different movement. It's very difficult for those hands to align inside the case if it would be any other movement that goes with the watch. So here, these I took it off just so I could show you what I'm talking about. See right here, there's an empty hole. So I just took them off for the purpose of the video. Okay, this is what would lock the movement in the case. These two screws right here. I always like to see all the time my locking screws on my movements. Okay, so that's another thing to look for. And if you're buying a chrono again, make sure most chronos they're going to have one of three movements. It's going to be a Valjoux. It's going to be a ETA. Well, Valjoux is ETA. It's going to be so it will be a Valjoux, a Venus, or a Landeron. So this one here, we see it's a Valjoux 7733. Okay, so we know that these type of watches came with that kind of movement, especially in the 70s. If we're going to go this type of watch right here, we do a little bit of research on the watch, and we know that these two watches right here, first generation of Seamasters, only came with bumper automatics. So we're going to want to see a bumper automatic. We won't see a seahorse in the back, but we will hear it. And you just got to shake it, and you will hear the bumper automatic on these. So that's another thing we have to find. And what else? What else do I look? Import stamp. I want to see my import stamps on my watches. So in this case, we have a Lemania movement, and then we have the import stamp, HOV, which is for TSOT, it's for Universal Geneve, and something else. So again, the inside of the case back, and Lemania, which if you didn't know, Lemania is a Omega movement. So those are the things I look for when buying a vintage watch. Now, another tip I want to give you guys: buy yourself one of these. Don't buy a jeweler's loop. This is more a watchmaker's loop. So you could leave it on and you can inspect the whole watch with both hands and maneuvering the watch around. So this is they're like about $3 to $5 on eBay. Buy yourself one of these, and yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully this helps, and if it does, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link to my Instagram account, and we will be bringing more watches very soon. And guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for all the comments. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.